Imagine you're walking down the street and you hear a faint meow. You look around to try and find the cat that's calling out for your help. You find a tiny kitten, abandoned, hungry, and barely alive. You decide to take the kitten home with you and keep it as your own. A year has passed and you discover your kitten is pregnant. A couple months later, she gives birth to 4 tiny kitties. In just 16 months, your little abandoned kitty's offspring have multiplied to 60 more kittens, some of which may not have homes and are living on the streets. This is a reality. There are billions of homeless animals around the world. I once read that every person in the world would have to own 7 animals in order for every animal to have a home. Did you know that over 3 million pets are euthanized every year due to insufficient housing? 1 out of every 4 pets is euthanized daily. We're basically just killing animals because we don't have a place to put them. You might think that the animals in the shelters are born on the streets or have diseases, but that's really not the case. According to the Humane Society of the United States, most of the animals you find in the shelter were cherished pets' offspring, purebreds, or escapees that have either been turned into the shelter or picked up off the streets. The amount of homeless animals could drastically be cut down if everyone spayed or neutered their pets. The definition of neutering is to surgically remove the testicles from an animal. This is the term used when referring to a male animal getting fixed. The definition of spaying is to surgically remove the ovaries and the uterus of a female animal. There's a long list of benefits to having your animal spayed or neutered. For male animals, there's a decrease in health problems, better behavior, and less aggression. Neutered dogs are less likely to develop anal gland cancer and prostate cancer. They will not develop testicular cancer, as well as a decreased possibility of getting hernias. Neutered dogs are less aggressive and are less likely to get into dog fights. They're less likely to mark their territory with urine. In addition to this, a neutered dog's urine does not smell as strongly as a dog that is not neutered. Neutered dogs are less likely to roam because they're not out looking for a female in heat. Therefore, their chances of getting lost, stolen, or injured by a car decrease. They cannot impregnate females, which helps decrease pet population. Another benefit from neutering your dog is that if they have bad genetics, such as hip problems, those bad genes will not be passed down to any offspring. For females, there are many benefits besides not being able to reproduce. Unfixed females are at greater risk of developing deadly uterine infections, which surgical removal of the uterus is the only cure. Mammary cancer is also very common in dogs and cats. Having your pet spayed almost guarantees that they will not suffer from this illness. Dogs that are fixed before their first heat have a 0.05% chance of developing mammary cancer. Females who are spayed after their first heat have an 8% chance, and dogs who are spayed anytime after their second heat have a 25% chance of getting mammary cancer. Female cats have very odd behaviors when they're in heat. They don't seem to be happy, and they're constantly looking for a male partner. Cats can go through heat cycles every couple of months until they get pregnant. And then they can get pregnant again almost immediately after giving birth. Having your female pet spayed reduces or eliminates the risk of reproductive tract diseases, as well as eliminating the possibility that they'll develop uterine and ovarian cancer. So when is the best age to have your pet fixed? Every vet has a different age that they prefer to give their surgeries. In my research, I found that the ideal age to have your dog or cat fixed is before 6 months of age. This is the suggestion because hormones have yet to develop and there will be more positive behavioral changes. This is also because it is less likely that the female animal has not had a heat cycle, putting them at a lower risk of becoming pregnant, and the surgery is less risky. There are some myths associated with having your pet fixed. Here are a few that I've discredited. A dog will feel less like a man or a woman after being sterilized. Animals are incapable of feeling the emotion attached to not being able to reproduce. They will be happier animals since their intense drive to find a mate no longer exists. They'll be able to devote more time and attention to their human companions. Spaying and neutering will cause weight gain. This is not a direct effect of having surgery. Dogs gain weight because of their diet and lack of exercise. It's most likely that they gained weight after they got fixed because their high energy level is decreasing, but their meal portions are not. Dogs will mourn the loss of their reproductive capabilities. Dogs only reproduce because of their natural drive to keep their species alive. They do not reproduce because they long to have offspring or raise kids of their own. Spaying and neutering is too expensive. Today there are enough low-cost and free spay and neuter programs that is no longer an excuse. Even if these programs are not available in your area, the emotional distress and money spent on the medical treatments you'll save down the line makes it an investment worth every penny. Efforts by programs such as the Spay USA already seem to be having an effect. In 1980, approximately 23.4 million pets were euthanized. Just 22 years later, that number was down to 4.6 million. In towns and cities that have already implemented sterilization programs, the number of animals that are being euthanized has dropped by 30 to 60%. The truth is that neutered and spayed animals are better pets. And though we're heading in the right direction, the problem of euthanasia and overpopulation still continues. In the words of Bob Barker, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered.